Hi, Moriah from Mogility here. In this YouTube channel from Mogility, we walk through safe and other agile topics. In this video, I will be going through the Scrum Master role and the day in the life. Topics I would like to cover today are what is a Scrum Master and what is the key for success. So what is a Scrum Master? So Scrum Master is a specialized role on an agile team. And this is someone who acts as a coach for the members of the team, for their peers, for leadership. This person is someone who is reminding the team and those they work with of the Scrum values, the Scrum processes, and they are working to ensure that the team has the skills required to be successful in their roles. So, as a Scrum Master, what is the key for success? Gusto. All right, let's get into this a bit. What is gusto? So when I say gusto, I'm not just talking about enthusiasm or excitement. I am saying this is someone who will guide without authority, someone who understands the unspoken, someone who can stand strong in the face of conflict, someone who can teach the team ways to improve. And last, someone who is open to receiving and providing feedback. So when I say guide without authority, I want to jump into this just a little bit. I'm going to go into each term just to make them a little more understandable. So guiding without authority is where you are influential by providing facts and data to the team to help them understand why change or a specific process is important and why it can help them or how it can help them improve. But this is someone who does this through understanding their team deeply. So they understand the individuals as well as the things that are hindering the team. So that way the team can get better. So understanding the unspoken is where you really lean into your spidey senses. This is you paying attention to tone of voice, facial expressions, body language. If someone's being excessively quiet, it's something you notice, and you can pull that person to the side and ask them what their thoughts are, or if you've already spoken with that person, maybe you can ask them questions a little more pointedly on a call, so that way they feel safe to speak up. Stand strong in the face of conflict. So this is where you're asking thoughtful questions, where you provide a safe space without interruption. You're restating problems. So if you have two parties that are working through some conflict, you're able to pause and restate the problems to ensure A, that you're understanding, and B, that the way you restated the problem is accurate and helps the other person possibly see a bit more about the problem itself. And then the last thing on here is being able to remind the team of a common goal. Sometimes we get so caught up in our emotions, our thoughts, our ego, and we forget why we're even doing the things that we are. So if you are able to remind the team of a common goal, of where you guys are headed, of where you're going, of what your iteration goal is, or maybe you have a strategic vision that you can point the team to, or maybe your company has some sort of pillars, as far as courage or respect, that you can point to those things and say, hey, this is who we are. And, it's important that we're on the same page because we're all working for the same company and we're all striving towards the same goal. Teach the team ways to improve. So to do this, you do have to have a basic understanding of Scrum. There are Scrum values, Scrum processes, and Scrum metrics that are really important for you to understand. And then next, in regard to the metrics, you do need to be able to read the data. So understanding the metrics on, cycle time, velocity, sprint burn down, sprint burn up. Those things are very important. And those are just a few of the charts that you could potentially be reading. And typically the system that your team tracks the work in has some sort of dashboard or visual graph for you to be able to get a better understanding of what's going on with the team. the last on Gusto is being open to receiving and providing feedback. To be open to receiving feedback and providing feedback, you do need to be a relationship builder. You need to be someone who builds relationships with the team, with people outside of your team, and you need to be trustworthy. If you cannot establish trust, it's going to be very difficult for you in your role, because people are going to be looking to you as a person that is safe, that allows them to, speak about their concerns. And lastly, you need to be action oriented. You need to have a plan in place for when issues arise, or maybe during a retrospective when things are brought up about improvement. You need to have some idea of how you can improve on those things and provide those action items to the team as things that you're going to tackle, or maybe they need to tackle. But either way, action needs to be taken. Otherwise, the trust is broken. So Gusto, is that really it? Is that all it takes to be a successful Scrum Master? No, it's not. Here's a list of a few more things that Scrum Masters typically do. So they're ensuring impediments are resolved. They facilitate meetings for the team. And when I say facilitate meetings, it doesn't mean that they always have to be the ones scheduling the meeting, but they're there again to remind the team and the people on the call of the common goal, of the reason why they're there. And that's why agendas are so very important for meetings. Next, they're working with the group or the person who provides requirements for the team. This is typically a product group, or if it's a person, it's typically a product owner. They're constantly checking the work tracking system to be certain all work is visible and transparent so that you can see the data. If the work isn't in the system, then you can't do your job, which is tracking that data and making sure things are improving. Next, they are continually learning to stay ahead of potential issues or changes in methodology that could assist your team. And then the last is paying attention to burnout. And burnout is one of those things that comes up in most teams. It's where people just feel like they're constantly running on this hamster wheel, and you really have to pay attention to that and come up with creative ways to help resolve that with a team. If you have any questions or you'd like any training on this topic or any of the other topics from Mogility, please reach out at mogilitytraining.com. I hope this video was helpful. Again, this was Moriah with Mogility, where we provide content related to Agile and Safe.